Reborn 3 days before the zombie apocalypse. The first thing I did was block my ex-best friend in my past life supplies and pushed me into a zombie horde. In this life, I headed straight to the neighboring Hua city. My brother was holding a concert there. When my best friend pushed me into the zombie horde, I heard her shouting from the outside. Xiaohua, your brother is a big star. He must have a lot of money. Once you're dead, it will all be mine. So that wait. In my previous life, I was still wondering why, after the apocalypse arrived, when I was desperately trying to find my brother, she kept urging me to wait and see, saying the roads were too dangerous. Later, I died among the zombies, while she lived quite comfortably, using my brother's supplies, living in my family's villa, using Minam, and shamelessly enjoying my brother's protection. The pain was still spreading throughout my body. The blinding sunlight made me instinctively raise my hand to block it. My phone was vibrating wildly on my pillow. 3 words were flashing on the screen. Liu Ruyan. I stared at the name. It wasn't fear, but excitement as I looked at the date on the caller ID. March 7th, 8 am. Until the total outbreak of the zombie virus. There were still 3 days left. I answered the phone. Liu Ryan's voice came through the receiver. Xiaohua. Is your brother having a concert in Hua City on the 1st? I saw it trending on social media. Do you have tickets? Can you take me with you? In my past life moment. I naively thought she just really wanted to see the concert, and even promised to ask my brother for VIP tickets. But in this life, I only have one thing to say. To hell with the concert. I hung up the phone immediately, blocked and deleted her in one go. I still have 3 days to change everything. When the plane landed in Hua City, it was already 4 p.m. I turned on my phone. The number 1 trending topic, Wayland concert, 24-hour countdown. I clicked on it, and the screen was full of fan screams and anticipation. Some posted tickets they saved up a year to buy. Some took leave from work to fly over and follow his schedule. Someone even wrote a long post saying, "This is the last concert of my youth." My brother, Huaylan, debuted 5 years ago. A top-tier male singer. Extremely well-known. With countless fans. He's just my older brother. I gripped my phone tightly and sent him a message. Bro. I'm in Hua City. Where are you? 3 seconds later, Ekaledme. Xiaohua. My brother's voice was full of shock and surprise. Why did you come to Hua City? Bro, where are you? I'll come find you. I'm rehearsing at the sports center. Eposed. Stay right there. I'll have my assistant pick you up. Wawa, did something happen? I took a deep breath. Bro. I'm here to save you. Silence on the other end for a few seconds. Then I heard my brother lower his voice and say, Wait there. I'll come pick you up myself. 40 minutes later. A sports car parked in front of me. Bro, I looked into his eyes. Tomorrow's concert must be cancelled. He froze. I know this sounds crazy. I grabbed his hand. But I don't have time to explain much. I can only tell you. Intridaille. This world will become completely different. By then, concerts. The entertainment industry, top-tier star or not. None of it will mean a thing. The only thing that matters is staying alive. My brother looked at me for a long time. He took off his mask, revealing that face that had trended countless times. Wawa, since you were little, you could never lie. Whenever you tried to trick me, your eyes would dart to the left. But right now, you haven't blinked once. I said nothing. He looked at me for a few more seconds, then suddenly smiled and ruffled my hair. All right. I believe you. That's it? I was stunned. Bro? Aren't you going to ask me why? You don't think I'm crazy? Oui. He put his mask back on. You're my sister. You wouldn't harm me. As for the why, he patted my hand. Tell me when you're ready to. My nose tingled, and I almost broke down in tears. Bro, I wiped my eyes. Let's go back to our hometown to find Mom and Dad. Hoard supplies and survive. Okay. My brother was totally decisive, taking out his phone to start making calls. 5 minutes later, his studio posted a message on Weibo. Waylon's studio statement. Due to the artist's personal health reasons, the originally scheduled to a world concert on April 1st is temporarily cancelled. All ticket buyers will receive a full refund via the original payment method. Inconvenience caused. We deeply apologize. The comment section exploded immediately. Cancelled the day before. Health reasons. What health condition is that serious? Refunds are fine. But, can we get an explanation? Did he get into a scandal? Fake news. Waylon isn't that kind of person. I just got off the plane and saw this. The trending list blew up instantly. 8 out of the top 10 trends were Waylon concert cancelled. Waylon refunds. And what happened to Waylon? My brother turned off his phone, tossed it aside, and smiled at me. Let's go. Let's go home. We arrived at our hometown the next afternoon. Mom and Dad had received our call and were waiting at the door. Seeing the two of us get out of the car, my mom ran over and hugged me tightly. Xiaohua, why are you so thin? Are you not eating well out there? My dad stood to the side. He didn't say anything, but his eyes kept darting towards me. Mom, I pulled her hand to go inside. I have something important to tell you both. Half an hour later, the living room was dead silent. My brother chimed in, Mom. I believe my sister. My dad stayed quiet for a long time, finally looking up at me. Tell us what to do. I was stunned. I had prepared 100 different reasons to persuade them. Sweetie, whether what you're saying is true or not, We'll listen to you. Besides, stocking up on things won't hurt. Let's just treat it as early New Year's shopping. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom. Then, we sprang into action. My brother took out his phone and started calling. Hello. Lao Shen? How big is that warehouse of yours? Yes, I need to use it. I'll rent whatever space you have. What, will 20 large trucks be enough? If not, we'll get more. My dad took out his small notebook and started listing things out. Riz, flour, cooking oil, salt, sugar, soy sauce, vinegar, instant noodles, high energy, biscuits, canned goods, cured meat, sausages, frozen meat, vegetable seeds, fruit seeds, my mom added from the side. We also need medicine, called Medis, fever reducers, antibiotics, anti-diarrhea pills, gauze, alcohol, iodine, band-aids. Oh, and toilet paper, sanitary pads, laundry detergent, shampoo, body wash, toothpaste, toothbrushes. Looking at how serious they were, I suddenly felt being reborn is truly wonderful. The next day, our whole family mobilized, heading straight to the suburban wholesale market. We hauled things truckload by truckload, nearly emptying out the entire wholesale market. Rice, white flour, oil, salt, soy sauce, canned goods, vinegar, cured meat, dehydrated vegetables, high energy, biscuits, bottled water, medical supplies, daily necessities, and seeds, tools, generators, solar panels, gasoline. My dad's list kept getting longer. My mom's commanding skills got more and more practiced. And my brother's card was swiped harder and harder. In just 2 days, 20 large trucks made over a dozen round trips, forcibly moving half of the wholesale market into the warehouse in the mountains of our hometown. That was an old house left by my grandfather, built halfway up the mountain. There were no neighbors around, and only one road in and out. There was also a patch of wasteland behind it that could be cleared to grow vegetables. Next to it was a mountain spring, providing clean and plentiful water. It was basically a natural shelter. On the night of the last day, we unloaded the final truck of supplies. Looking at the warehouse packed to the brim, we finally breathed a sigh of relief. My brother brushed the dust off his hands. Smartimu. Sis, is this enough? I calculated it. If we ration it out, it's enough to feed our family of 4 for 5 years. Then that's enough, my dad nodded in satisfaction. If things haven't gone back to normal by then, we'll just farm our own food. My mom held my hand, her eyes a little red. Sweetie, we've listened to everything you said these past few days. It's been a bit tiring, but our hearts feel at peace looking at them. I suddenly felt that, even if the apocalypse really comes, it doesn't seem that scary anymore. As long as they are here, I'm not afraid of anything. Early the next morning, the TV in the living room was on, broadcasting an emergency news report. Emergency alert. Unidentified virus infections reported in multiple regions. Infected individuals lose all sense of reason and exhibit extreme aggression. Citizens are advised to avoid going outdoors and take necessary precautions. Latest updates indicate the source of the infection is still unknown. The virus spreads at a rapid rate. Those bitten will mutate within a few hours. My dad glanced at the TV, then glanced at me. He didn't say anything and just handed me an apple. During the first week of the apocalypse, we barely stepped outside. Every day was just eating, sleeping, reinforcing our defenses, listening to the radio, and monitoring the outside situation. A week later, things stabilized a bit. Several safe zones were set up outside, organizing survivor transfers. But far more people either turned into zombies or hid in their homes, too afraid to go out. My brother occasionally climbed onto the roof, using binoculars to observe the situation at the bottom of the mountain. He said people could occasionally be seen on the road at the foot of the mountain, but most of them detoured around. No one came up the mountain. That was for the best, but I knew deep down that one person would definitely come. On the 10th day, she came. That afternoon, I was organizing supplies in the warehouse. My mom suddenly ran in. Xiaoa, someone is walking up this way from the bottom of the mountain. It looks like your roommate. My hands paused. She came after all. Navigating through a city swarming with zombies. Trekking over a dozen kilometers of mountain roads, all just to find me. Or rather, just to find my brother. Xiaoa, when she saw me, her eyes lit up, and she ran over to hug me. I finally found you. Do you know how terrified I was? There are zombies everywhere out there. I was so scared. I dodged her and said indifferently, "How did you find this place?" I went to our apartment. You weren't there, so I figured you definitely went back to your hometown. So I walked all the way here. I even ran into zombies on the way. Almost got bitten. It scared me to death. As she spoke, her eyes turned red. Her eyes darted around, and finally landed on my brother. Yes, Ita. Her voice was even trembling a bit. My brother, I said. Your brother. Waylon, the Waylon. Her voice jumped up an octave. Liu Ruyan squeezed out what she thought was her sweetest smile, and walked over briskly. Lo, Walun. I absolutely love your songs. I know how to sing every single one of them. My brother glanced at her, gave a brief and subtly winked at me. I knew exactly what he was thinking. Juste like that moved. For the first 3 days of her stay, her behavior was impeccable. She rushed to do chores, sweet-talked everyone, and had my mom wrapped around her little finger. Buton les premières quenu. What she was waiting for. On the evening of the 5th day, she finally showed her true colors. Xiaowa, your brother must have hundreds of millions in his card, right? To hoard so many supplies. That's amazing. Première chocolate. It's all right, her eyes lit up. Over the next few days, I deliberately started arguments with my brother. Every day I let him scold me to tears, making Liu Ryan think I had fallen out of favor, and that she had a chance. Sure enough, she took the bait. Every midnight, she sneaked into the warehouse to inventory the supplies, and even made a full set of copied keys. On the night of the 10th day, she finally made her move. Sis, she's moving. She's moving stuff outside. There are people coming up from the bottom of the mountain. Oh mani. Tri. And they are all armed. I picked up the walkie-talkie. Lao Shen cast the net. Lao Chun was my brother's captain of the bodyguards. Before the apocalypse, my brother paid top dollar to hire him and his 8 brothers. They had been lying in ambush halfway up the mountain this whole time. Soon, screams echoed from the bottom of the mountain. When we got back to the yard, Liu Ryan was already pinned to the ground. Her 3 accomplices were squatting in the corner. Xiaohua, please let me explain. Déforme. I crouched down and looked into her eyes. Ruyant. Do you know what I am most grateful for in the life? She was stunned. It's being reborn. Her pupils contracted violently. In my past life, when you pushed me into the zombie horde, I heard you say from the outside, Xiaohua, your brother is a big star. He must have a lot of money. Once you're dead, it'll all be mine. Liu Ryan collapsed on the ground, trembling all over. Why do you think I blocked you out of nowhere? Why the concert was cancelled? Why we hoarded all these supplies? Premier stood up, looking down at her from above. Because, in my past life, you already killed me once. Liu Ryan completely broke down, crying as she confessed everything. She had joined a survivor gang, led by a man named Brother Bao. Since the apocalypse began, they specialized in robbing families that had hoarded supplies. Liu Ryan's job was to be the inside man, coordinating from within. After dealing with those people, my brother handed me a bottle of cola. Sis, do you believe in fate? I didn't used to, but now I do. I don't believe in fate. I believe in you. My nose stung with emotion. Bezid. He suddenly lowered his voice. Have you ever thought, if you can be reborn, could someone else be reborn too? A chill ran down my spine. My brother took his phone out of his pocket and turned the screen towards me. It was a message from an unknown account. Waylon, don't hold tomorrow's concert. Apocalypse in 3 days. Hoard supplies. Go back to your hometown. Your sister will come looking for you. Time sent, March 29th, 3:17 a.m. That was envoyé. Then the exact time of my rebirth. My blood instantly ran completely cold. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Because I wasn't sure who it was. My brother put his phone away, his expression uncharacteristically serious when I received this direct message. I thought it was just some crazy fan. The neck you showed up and said almost the exact same thing. Elle looked at me, his eyes full of complexity. Sis, you say you were reborn. Then what about this person? Who are they? Why did they know, even earlier than you did? My head was buzzing. In my past life, I Zord. And was reborn 3 days prior. I thought I was the only variable, but if someone knew the truth, even earlier than me, then is this person a friend or a foe? I looked into this account. The registration time was that very day, March 29th. No profile picture. No post history. After sending this message, they never logged in again. After being reborn, I always thought of myself as the chess player. But only now did I realize I might just be another piece on the chessboard. Bro. I took a deep breath. Is that account still there? Yes. Can we reply with a message? My brother looked at me, didn't ask any further, and just handed the phone over. I deliberated for a long time, then typed out a single line. Who are you? How do you know? Send. Then we waited for 10 minutes. 20 minutes. An hour. No reply. Maybe they won't reply anymore, my brother said softly. Maybe their only mission was just to warn me. What mission? I don't know, but have you thought about it? If this person hadn't warned me when you came looking for me, would I have believed you? Première facile. To be honest, no. If that direct message hadn't laid the groundwork, even if I am his real sister, suddenly running up to tell him the world ends in 3 days, he most likely would have thought I had gone crazy. At best, he would have coaxed me into seeing a psychiatrist. It was that message that mentally prepared him in advance. It was that message that made him choose to trust me unconditionally. Someone was protecting us. But who exactly is this person? That night, I couldn't sleep. Listening to the wind outside the window and the occasional distant roar of a zombie. My mind was obsessing over this same question over and over. At 3 a.m., my brother's phone suddenly vibrated. I practically bolted upright. I grabbed the phone and looked. A reply to the direct message, just 2 phrases. Don't investigate, survive. I stared at those words for a long time. My fingers hovered over the screen. I had 1,000 questions to ask. But premier coule notre type à cinq horde. In the end, I just replied with 2 words. Yoto. There were no more messages from the other side. When dawn broke, I told the whole family about this. My dad was silent for a moment and said that no matter who this person is, since they helped us, they are our benefactor. If we ever get the chance in the future. Me mom nodded. Maybe there's someone highly capable too. Perhaps we'll run into them someday. My brother said nothing. He just took screenshots of the direct message and saved several copies. I knew what he was thinking. Ifondai. The world returns to normal. He wants to find this person. While I stood at the doorway, looking at the grey skyline at the foot of the mountain, I was thinking about something else entirely. They said don't investigate. Not I don't know. Not don't ask. But don't investigate. Timontat. If I tried to track the source of this account, I might invite trouble I shouldn't mess with. Before the apocalypse. That sentence sounded like a threat. But after the apocalypse, that sentence sounded like protection. I gripped my phone tightly and turned to walk back inside. The supplies in the warehouse were neatly arranged. Mom and Dad were in the yard discussing what to plant in spring. My brother climbed onto the roof, continuing his duty as a lookout. Everything was fine. And that was enough. As for that mysterious person, if they are really a friend rather than a foe, they will show up one day. If no, well, I am prepared. After all, I've already died once. I picked up a hoe and walked towards the backyard. Mom, I'll till that patch of land. Okay? Be careful. Don't hurt your back. Don't worry. Première bente donne. Turning the soil, hoe by hoe. The sunlight, shining on my back, felt warm and comforting. From behind, I heard my brother's voice. Sis. What do you want for lunch? I'll make it for you. Anything is fine. I'll eat whatever you make. Then I'll make braised pork. You said you wanted some last time. Sounds good. The apocalypse is still going on, and the outside world is still in chaos. But right now, in this small courtyard, halfway up the mountain, everything is so peaceful. It's great to be alive. It's wonderful to be reborn.